This judge is so incompetent. Listen to how he behaves and how he talks. Imagine, this is the judge that was employed to judge Africans. Do you even think there was justice in the very, very place? There was no justice at all. If these are the kind of judges that we had. We need to have judges who understand the law, who protect the law. I don't want to give you it all, but I want you to watch this video where you see how these apartheid judges mistreated and did wrong things to the Africans. I'll give you my thoughts where we'll have a critical analysis by the end of the video. See you then.
You are defending apartheid.
I'm not defending apartheid.
And you are in denial that apartheid taught white people to hate black people. And others realized this was an evil system and they rejected it, even though it taught them to hate. That's why Madiba says, no one is born a hater. They are taught to hate.
That may be one way of looking at it. I'm not defending apartheid. It's indefensible. And I explained earlier to other commissioners' questions that it was something that irked me. I did not understand.
But apartheid taught to hate.
If that is the perception, yes.
No, but I want your understanding. Did the system of apartheid teach white people to hate black people?
If that was the intention, did not succeed. Because there were many people, not necessarily the exponents that you had mentioned, that did not follow that.
Are you a racist?
No.
Can you speak any African language?
No, I'm a lawyer, not a linguist.
So you don't see any need of learning African language because you're not a linguist. I'm a linguist, but I know colonial languages imposed on me by the apartheid regime. The system you benefited from.
I would not say that I benefited from the system. Nothing had come easy. I had to battle to reach where I am today. I did not benefit from anybody or any organization. There are official interpreters. If judges were to be, in addition, linguists, it would do away with employment, which is necessary, and there should be a drive to appoint more dedicated interpreters.
Are you an advocate with a,
Yes, I'm an advocate.
with a firm?
No, I'm on my own.
You're on your own.
Yes, advocates practice on their own, not in firms.
Go on your own with your firm. Good luck. You must help us to help you. We're going to appoint you. So once you tell us nice answers, then you're going to be a judge. But if we go like that, you're not going to be a judge, I can guarantee you. So how many, just give me an estimate, the longest time you spent in a black township?
Commissioner, it's difficult to say. I don't watch time. Could be half a day, it could be 3/4 of a day, it could be a day, I can't tell you. I don't time myself in respect of any attendance wherever it is. I do what I do.
That's your answer. What is racism?
Racism is denying somebody not of the same creed or culture as yourself any.
How do you become a racist?
How do you become a racist?
How do you become a racist?
Probably by choice.
You just choose to be a racist.
Yes.
You are not taught to be a racist.
No.
Can racism be a culture, a part of upbringing?
No. Because each one is an individual and has to decide and fend for himself. He knows what is right and he knows what is wrong. So it is by choice, not by...
No, but the apartheid taught white people to be racist in schools through propaganda and the type of education system they imparted on those people. They taught them to be racist.
The teachings might have been there, but the individual, it's for him to decide whether he would follow and whether he agrees with that teachings, that doctrine.
But we agree that apartheid taught white people to be racist. It was part of the system. It was part of the education system. That's why there was Bantu education and education for white people. They were taught to hate.
I would not say he were taught to hate because, again, as I said, it's for the individual to decide whether he hates somebody or not.
Apartheid did not teach white people to hate black people. Is that what you are saying?
There was a doctrine, but it's not necessarily that everyone accepts the doctrine.
Did apartheid teach white people to hate black people?
I've given my answer.
But I'm asking a question. Did apartheid teach? It doesn't matter whether individuals decide to choose to accept the teachings or not. Did apartheid teach white people to hate black people?
No.
Apartheid didn't teach them.
There were many people that I knew as a child that did not hate people from the other color.
Apartheid Shem taught white people to love black people. Is that what you are saying to me? That's why it was so nice, apartheid. That's why you joined the army.
No, that's not what I said. I had said what I had said. I've answered your question.
Was the apartheid system not declared crime against humanity by the UN?
Yes.
Because it was a system that perpetuated hatred of black people by white people.
Some may have followed the doctrine, others did
Not whether others followed or not. The system itself. Slovo didn't follow the system. Ronnie Casares didn't follow the system. There are many white people who didn't follow the system. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, was the system designed to hate black people?
Before he answers, Commissioner, remember my plea yesterday about lowering the voice. Just the question will still be impactful. Please provide the answer, sir.
I have not made a study of the apartheid system, but I accept that it could be that the main doctrine was, or the main thought behind it may have been, I don't know, to hate others. What I've known of the apartheid system was that people were separated.
Will I be correct to describe you as a defender of apartheid through those answers you have been giving me? No, you are.
So here is a quick video about why the white people are so afraid of Julius Malema. These people are not afraid of Julius Malema, only they are afraid of the message of Julius Malema. Because let me tell you something, somebody commented on my comment section that one day Julius Malema might be deleted. But, even if they delete Julius Malema, what can happen is that they cannot delete the message. Nobody can stop reggae. Somebody says that. So the message will still continue. And without further ado, I want us to listen to this video where the brother is going to share a very thoughtful insight about the situation of white South Africans in South Africa and why the EFF is a threat to the white people. Is it really a threat, or are they perceiving it as a threat? Perception are not facts. So let's watch this video and then I'll give you my thoughts towards the end of the video.
Thank you, MEC. Commissioner Malema.
Thank you very much. For sure you know that we all write our own history, right? As we grow up, everything else we do, we are writing our own history.
Partly. Circumstances also writes your history. Not only yourself, but circumstances also dictate.
Through our own conduct and the things that we engage in, it doesn't matter the circumstances. We're writing our own history.
As I said, to an extent, yes.
And we'll be judged through that history.
But the history is to be seen within particular circumstances.
I agree with that, but we'll be judged through that history.
Yes, I've said that.
What is the longest time? Time, I mean hours, minutes, seconds. The longest time you have spent in a township, black township, in Mamelodi, Atteridgeville, anything, Soshanguve, the longest. where you're so relaxed and, you know.
Time-wise, I can't tell you, but
No, but you
I
can
believe
estimate.
a couple of hours.
You know, when I was young, I used to watch a certain interesting film with the people who were born in the 90s. There was a very, very interesting South African movie. It was called Sarafina. Sarafina was a real-life portrayal. It was a real life that was enacted. You know, there used to be this girl, Sarafina. She was a student. She was learning at a place called Soweto. These people were striving for the independence of South Africa from the white people. That video is too ugly. It's too ugly to watch. And when I remember the characters, I feel like crying. And what makes this video very unique is that it's real. It's a true story. It is a true story of what happened. You see, children of the university, they were high school students actually, made a cry. They always made demands for the liberation of Madiba of South Africa. Madiba is Nelson Mandela, for those who don't know. Now, when I look at that video and see what's happening in South Africa right now, I see those students, some of them who died, did not die in vain. You know, sometimes there's no forgiveness of sin without the shedding of blood. These people some of them had to die in order for South Africa to attain freedom. Freedom is not something that is free. It's freedom, but it's not free. It costs someone else for you to have it free. You see, and we Africans tend to forget that there are some people who shed their blood for us to enjoy what we have right now. Some people who are just like me and you, had the same color of blood, but they shed their blood, you know. And then another ugly thing is that there were white judges and also black judges who were perpetrators, who were enforcing the law of apartheid in South Africa. They were really enforcing this law. Remember, I told you in 1948, no, I told you in another video, not this one. In 1948, apartheid was embedded into the constitution of South Africa, the South African constitution. It was embedded in it, the apartheid law. Apartheid is the racial segregation based on skin color, you know. So what happens is that these white judges were just puppets for the white people. They were puppets for the oppressors. And the funny thing that I might tell you is there is something which is always called Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is when you develop attraction for your abductor. You develop attraction for somebody who has kidnapped you. So sometimes Africans, we can be so brutal to one another when we are in a position of which we favor, of which we are employed by the oppressor in quotes. Yeah. So, for example, a brother was sharing his experience. When he went to get a passport, he met this woman, and this woman was very harsh on her. A fellow African, he thought that because she's African, she will make things easy. No, she made even things harder for the fellow brother. You know. Let's forget about that. Another thing is this. What follows is that black people who were working for the white people were very harsh on fellow Africans, even harsher or harder to Africans than their oppressors or than their bosses. Why is that? Remember I told you something about Stockholm syndrome. It's a mental thing in your brain. When somebody is oppressed too much and they're given liberty, they choose two ways: to continue oppressing or to continue saving or to save people. Some Africans choose this path of oppressing other Africans, and some Africans choose the path of liberating Africans. The Africans who chose the path of liberating Africans are people like Nelson Mandela, you know, being jailed for more than 20 years in some island somewhere, and then you still have your stance. You've not even broken any of your thoughts, you know. You've stood strong with your ideology. It's something that takes a lot of integrity to stand with. And this is why we need people who are strong enough to withhold the temptations that they might represent to us, because it's money. Money is the presentation. You are told, take this money, go and oppress fellow Africans. You know, for this judge, for this specific judge, he was just, I think it's the love for money, and the judge himself does not even understand the law quite well. He does not really understand the law. So he is put before the cabinet, he is put before the parliament. Before, it was not a parliament, it was a courtroom. He's put before the jury. He's being asked questions about the law. He proves to be so more incompetent. He's just incompetent, you know. Though the apartheid was not even a constitutional law, it was something that was just being rigged. It was being rigged on Africans. So right now, the judges are brought into question to answer what they did to fellow Africans, to say, why did you do this to our African people? Why? Now they thought that they wouldn't pay what they did, but it's time they pay. You know, sometimes you might do something thinking that you are in a higher position and you think that you will always stay there. No, people grow old, people die. These people enjoyed oppressing Africans with the apartheid constitution. Now it's the time that they are put into question and held responsible for their irresponsible behavior. So that's how it went, and this is what happens when the misuse of power is done. What we saw in South Africa, as I told you, 5% is ruling the 95%. It's always dangerous when you concentrate power in the hands of a few. When you concentrate power in the hands of a few, it's so dangerous. What needs to be done is distribution of power equally. For South Africans, what they should do is distribute power equally, distribute economic services equally, distribute land equally to everyone, to every person who is living in South Africa. And I find it so important for this to be done. And that's it. It's high time Africans wake up and realize it's time we stand up and realize our worth. We realize who we are, and we realize our importance on this face of the universe, because not everyone, the black person is hated by everyone, even children. Children hate black people. So stand where you are, be strong, and remember one thing, Africa loves you. And if you're an African American, it's high time you book that ticket, move back to Africa. We see you for who you are. We don't see you for your skin color. We don't see a black person. We see a human. Yeah. For the judge, this is how it happened during the apartheid. And you see how ugly it was. If these were the kind of judges we had back then, how much do you think the Africans suffered in South Africa? How much do you think? If these are the people who are trusted to withhold justice, themselves, they don't know even the law. They don't understand the law itself, and they're placed as judges. No. This is wrong. So I hope you understand. You enjoy this video. You've enjoyed this video, and kindly do share the video to spread awareness. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps us a lot, and also support the channel on Patreon. Yeah, be a member. You can be a member and always donate to the channel to help us spread the good African news to Africans in Africa and Africans in the diaspora. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to stay Africans, to stay African, and love Africa. See you in the next one.